Hi, welcome again. This is our third video, and on this third video we're going to be covering topic number 2 out of the 5 topics we're going to be developing in this first unit of academic development of this class. We are currently in this only in English elective, Globalization, Society and International Politics, and in this second unit and in the second topic to be developed, I'm going to be stressing the importance of international actors, and also we're going to be studying a little bit more about globalization, the globalization process. Let's start with international actors. I would like to say that actors, when we use this terminology, we are currently utilizing the concept of international relations. If we would be using the concept of, or the terminology, subjects, international subjects, we would be more guided towards international law parameter. Since we are talking about international politics, the most commonly used term is indeed actors. And according to the first slide, we are talking about a very integrated world. There are various worlds out of this international scenario. And we're going to be covering specifically the slides number 4 until slide number 10, which stresses the importance of actors and also of globalization. Let's start with actors. Actors, we can divide actors into 3 major typologies. We have state-centered actors, we have non-state-centered actors, and we have individual actors. State-centered actors are those that are enshrined by national sovereignty. They carry the principle of national sovereignty as a major component of their actions, of their scope. Currently, we tend to adopt the parameter utilized by the United Nations. The United Nations today recognize the existence of 193 of these state-centered actors. So we're talking about 193 national states, sovereign states. The concept of sovereignty, it is key to understanding state actors. Then we move to non-state actors, and we have 2 types. We have NGOs at the global level, non-governmental organizations at the global level, and we have transnational corporations. Transnational corporations, they have a very solid agenda. The very clear agenda of transnational corporations involves the perspective of profit maximization, utilizing the perspective of outsourcing and offshoring, which are 2 important business tools in maximizing productivity and reducing costs worldwide. The third type of actors are so-called individual actors. They're pretty much human-centered actors, and they enhance the important role that all of us, global citizens, have and play at the international arena. Having discussed briefly about actors, let's move into the notion of globalization studies, which is the second topic out of our first unit. The first unit of academic analysis, it is based upon the notion of globalization studies. We're going to be covering 5 of these topics in our first academic unit. Globalization studies involve the understanding that the world is interconnected through complex chains of market relationships. It is an economic, political, cultural, legal, and corporate phenomena. Usually, in globalization studies, we tend to ideologically attach the concept of market economy and liberal democracies. These 2 concepts are the underlying notions behind the process of globalization. But at this point, it is important to emphasize that the globalization, it's not a new process. Sometimes we tend to understand that after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, globalization pretty much started and gained force throughout the world, but which is not true. Globalization has been gradually evolving since the age of the great Portuguese and Spanish navigations that pretty much discovered and proved that the world was round after the historic Magellan circumnavigation trip. After that, we gradually started to integrate this market through complex corporate, commercial, economic, and financial strategies. We're going to be covering now in the globalization studies slides number 4 until the slide number 10, which are to be studied, read, and thought about. We can see in these slides some important images, some important emblems which portray the significance of the globalization. And we can stipulate that there are 4 major types of globalization today. The so-called asymmetrical globalization, the productive globalization, the financial speculative globalization, and the solidarity globalization. It is up to you to read and understand carefully all of these 4 concepts and to make interconnections with the readings, with the debates, and with the forum that we're going to be presenting in the online platform, in your Moodle platform. In fact, I would strongly recommend that you read carefully these 4 major globalization characteristics so that you can understand the next step in our analysis, which is the 3rd element of our unit in this initial academic debates.